A heartily welcome to all of you. Our YouTube channel is CE Sansaar. I'm speaking the Stella from the CE Sansaar. So today we are going to talk about the topic of cyber security. And also, it's our pleasure to welcome the CA Suchitra ma'am. Thank you so much to ma'am joining us today and also giving your valuable time. So before we begin, I request to all of you, those who are watching us and also our followers, to subscribe our YouTube channel and also like, share, and comment. And now I would like to invite a ma'am to share her thoughts on the today topic.
Thank you, Stella, for a wonderful introduction. I am very happy to be a speaker over here on the topic of cybersecurity, navigating the digital world safely. Let's begin with the topic cybersecurity, navigating the digital world safely. You know that cyber security is very important in the present day world. Every day in the newspapers, we read that thousands and lakhs of rupees are siphoned off from the banks of individuals and business organizations. Cybersecurity is very important because we need to understand the sophisticated techniques which the cyber attackers use to siphon off the money, and also we need to understand the measures that we need to take so that we can protect ourselves from these cyber threats. So let's begin to understand what is cyber security. It is made up of two definitions: cyber, which is related to technology, which contains system, network, and programs or data. Security, it is in relation to protection, which includes system security, network security, and application and information security. To sum up the definition, it is the body of technologies, processes, and practices designed to protect network, computer, program, and data from attack, damage, or unauthorized access. It refers to techniques and practices designed to protect digital data that is stored, transmitted, or used on an information system. Now, why do you think is cybersecurity important? Here are some of the reasons listed down, which will tell you that why cybersecurity is important. First and foremost is that we should not have any financial losses. There should be no reputational damage. Plus, we have to protect the personal data. Ensuring regulatory compliance. Here, many acts have been enacted by the government to protect the people from the cyber attacks. And for that, Protection of Personal Data Act 2023 has been laid down to protect the personal data of the people. Maintaining business continuity. This is very important. If you have been attacked by a cyber threat, what you would do to maintain continuity during and after the threat that you are facing. Your business should not be standard. Safeguarding business assets. Here, you have to safeguard the assets of the organization, which are mainly your laptops, computers, system servers. They contain crucial sensitive data, so you have to protect them. Then protection of individual and communities. Here we have to make people aware that cybersecurity is very important. Recently, in October, the government of Maharashtra had laid down Cyber Awareness Week in the police headquarters of Mumbai, where they made people aware of the cyber threats. They said that even the children are not spared of it. They are facing bullying, stalking, theft of information, and exploitation. So it is very much essential that even kids need to be aware of cybersecurity. Then a defense against cyber warfare. Here, cyber warfare refers to a layered strategy of technologies, procedures, and human focus measures at both the national and the individual level. Prevention of data breaches. Data leakages occur because we give uh, excessive permissions to the insecure apps that we have installed on various mobile devices. So any breach of mobileware system could result in the exposure of sensitive customer and financial data. Support for digital innovation. Here you have to integrate security into the design process, leveraging artificial intelligence and machine learning for threat detection using data driven techniques to improve security posture. Now, Before we lay down the plan to the give a appropriate response to the cyber threat, we have to understand the key fundamentals of cybersecurity. Confidentiality is preventing disclosure of data to unauthorized parties. It also involves not disclosing the names of the people who are authorized to see that data. Compromise of confidentiality can happen because of cracking poorly encrypted data, disclosing sensitive data. The standard measures to establish confidentiality are data encryption, which makes use of algorithm and keys, biometric verification, which is making use of face and fingers, then security token. Here you can have a USP or one-time password or timeout passwords, or also you can have a bearer security token where digital token is given. Possession is enough to gain access, requiring the user to protect it from being intercepted. Then you have two factor authentication where you can have your username and password and they can give you one time OTP with that. Then integrity is a key fundamental of cybersecurity, protecting information from being modified by unauthorized parties. Standard measures to guarantee integrity are data backups, uninterrupted power supplies. Here you can have power data bank using file permission, cryptographic checksums. Here it is a mathematical value created by a cryptographic hash function that verifies integrity of data, ensuring that it has been not altered, tampered, or corrected. Then, availability, making sure that the authorized parties are able to access the information when needed. Standard measures to guarantee availability are backing up data to external drives, implementing firewalls. Your firewall means these are the blocks unauthorized where unauthorized users are restricted from accessing the system and the network which are there on the internet. Then you have backup of power supplies and data redundancy. What do you mean by the term data redundancy? When the same piece of data is stored in multiple places, either intentionally for backups or fault tolerance or unintentionally due to poor database design. The 7 layers of cybersecurity. The first and the foremost layer is mission critical assets, the data that you need to protect. Data security, it protects the storage and transfer of data. Application security, controls protect access to an application and application's access to your mission critical assets and the internal security of the application. Endpoint security controls protect the connection between the devices and the network. Network security controls protect an organization's network and prevent unauthorized access of the network. Perimeter security control includes both the physical and digital security methodologies that protects the business overall. The human layer, human are the weakest link in any cybersecurity posture. Human security controls include phishing simulations and access management controls that protect mission critical assets from a wide variety of human threats, including cyber criminals, malicious insiders, and negligent users. Now, what do you mean by the term phishing simulations? It could be an email, SMS, phone, social media, social engineering techniques used to entice a victim to share sensitive information or password or account numbers. And who are malicious insiders? An individual within an organization, he could be an employee, contractor, partner who intentionally abuses his authorized access to cause harm to the company. Then, types of cyber threats or attacks. Here, I have listed the various types of cyber threats and attacks. Let's see one by one. I will start with denial of service attack. Here, malicious targeted attack that floods network with false requests in order to disrupt business operations. Unable to access email, websites, online accounts, or other sources. Here are few more types of cyber threats. We are going to see all of them in great detail. Let's see the other ones one by one. Malware. Any program code that is created with the intent to do harm to computer, network, or server. The most common type of cyber attack is virus and worm. Virus may self-replicating program is there that attaches itself to other software files, spreading when executed. Example, I love you virus. Then worm is a standalone malware that replicates itself to spread to other computer without requiring user interaction. Example, code red. 30% of the malware entries come via festival themed PDFs or zip Diwali blessings silently loots the data. Ransomware, an adversary encrypts a victim's data and offers to provide a decryption key in exchange for a payment. Usually launched through malicious links delivered via phishing emails, unpatched vulnerabilities, and policy misconfigurations. Here we have example of WannaCry, which has targeted thousands of computer systems worldwide, spreading through corporate networks and demanding Bitcoin payments for data recovery. Another example is CryptoLocker, where cryptocurrency is taken in ransom. Then we have fileless malware. Here, malicious activity that uses native legitimate tools built into a system to execute cyber attack. It does not require an attacker to install any code on target system, making it hard to detect. Best example here is living off the land and PowerShell based attacks. Now, let's see type of cyber threat attacks. Trojan horse. Malware that appears to be legitimate software disguised as native operating system program or harmless files like free downloads. It is installed through social engineering techniques such as phishing or bail websites. So here, if you see, you have fake software updates or downloads from untrustworthy sources. So best example here is Jesus Trojan. It steals financial information through techniques like keystroke logging and grabbing. Another example could be Agent Tesla. It's a spyware Trojan that targets businesses by stealing passwords and credentials. Then mobileware targets mobile devices. It is delivered through malicious download, operating system vulnerabilities, phishing, smishing, use of unsecured Wi-Fi. Then phishing, it uses email, SMS, phone, social media, and social engineering techniques to entice a victim to share sensitive information such as password, account numbers. Download a malicious file that will install viruses on their computer or phone. Here, the scammers exploit festive joy through phishing and smishing. From Shubh Diwali to Bank Zero, where greeting messages uh, become the messengers of destruction. Then we have spear phishing. It's a type of phishing attack that targets specific individuals or organizations, typically through malicious emails. Goal is to steal sensitive information such as login credentials or infect a target's device with malware. So here we have emails coming for fake lottery or urgent request to buy gift cards. Then whaling. It specifically attacks the senior or the CFO or CEO level executives with the purpose of stealing money or information or gaining access to the person's computer in order to execute further cyber attacks. Here, fraudulent emails or text messages or phone calls are sent. For example, in 2020, when coronavirus was going on, fake Zoom invitations were sent, leading to a co-founder clicking the link, which uh, malware attackers could generate fake invoices. Snapchat was another case where sensitive payroll information was leaked. Then, smishing. It's a fraudulent practice of sending text messages purporting to be from reputable companies in order to induce individuals to reveal personal information such as password, credit card numbers. Here, my best example would be a text message stating clearly that there's an issue with the package delivery and it asks you to click on a link and fix it. Or a message that you have won a prize, but you need to pay a small fee or provide details to claim it. A text from a fake government source threatening you with a legal action unless you click a call or a number immediately. These are all the examples of smishing. Then we have phishing, a voice phishing attack. It fraudulent use of phone calls and voice messages pretending to be from reputable organization to convince individuals to reveal private information such as bank details and passwords. Voice scam mimic banks. Here, you have to share your OTP for refund. So 80% spike in fraudulent calls during festivals. One click can expose your credit cards. Technique through which cybercriminal disguises themselves as a known or trusted source is spoofing. The adversary is able to engage with the target, access their system or devices with the ultimate goal of stealing information, extorting money, or installing malware or other harmful software on the device. Various channels, including emails, phone calls, websites, and GPS signals, with the goal of tricking a user into taking an action that benefits the attacker. Then you have domain spoofing. Here, it's a form of phishing. Attacker impersonates a known business or person with fake website or email domain to fool people into trusting them. Domain appears to be legitimate at the first glance, but a closer look will reveal subtle differences. For example, you could look for misspellings, character substitution, example replacing O with zero, or extra characters can be added in the web address. Email spoofing targets a business by using the emails with false sender addresses. Recipient trusts the alleged sender. So here the from address would be forged. So you have to be more careful. If you are more likely to open the email and interact with its content, it could be malicious link or an attachment. Then the next kind of cyber threat is identity based attacks. Here, valid user credentials have been compromised. The adversary is pretended to be that user, using same user ID and password across all multiple accounts. Possessing credentials for one account may be able to gain access to other unrelated accounts. Here, best example could be brute force attacks, using automated tools to systematically try all possible passwords to gain access. Insider threats, current or former employees pose a danger to an organization. Direct access to a company network, sensitive data, intellectual property, as well as knowledge of business processes, company policies, or other information that could help carry out such an attack. Types of insider threats. Malicious insider is an individual intentionally misusing their assets for personal or financial gain, stealing data, selling secrets to competitors, or causing sabotage. Careless insider is unintentionally causing harm through negligence, such as for falling for a phishing scam or leaving a device exposed. Compromise insider, an account has been hijacked by an external attacker. The attacker uses the legitimate access to carry out their malicious activities. Then we have DNS tunneling. Here, leverages domain name system queries and responses to bypass traditional security measures and transmit data and code within a network. Tunnel gives the hacker a route to unleash malware and to extract data, IP, or other sensitive information by encoding it bit by bit in a series of DNS responses. Here, indicators of potential attack could be unusual, abnormally long DNS request, high volume of DNS traffic, large volume of DNS queries to an unusual or suspicious domain. Internet of Things targets an Internet of Things device or network. Once compromised, the hacker can assume control of the device, steal data, or join a group of infected devices. Here, network of physical objects embedded with sensor software and other technologies that can connect and exchange data over the internet without human intervention. Example, smart home device like a voice assistant that can control other devices, or a car with a sensor alerts the driver to the risks that are coming. Now, what are the measures that can be made by a user to protect himself from cybersecurity? Firewall. It blocks the unauthorized users from accessing the system and the networks that connect to the internet. It detects the attacks by cyber criminals and removes the unwanted sources of network traffic. Encryption, protecting data with algorithm and secret keys. It is legitimately used for ensuring the privacy of information by keeping it hidden from an unauthorized user or person. Unfortunately, it can also be used by criminals to hide their crimes. Strong passwords, unique passwords should be a mix of numbers, uppercase letters, lowercase letters, symbols, no sharing of passwords. We have password managers, which are software application that securely stores your username and password in an encrypted vault. So you only need to remember one master password and then access them all. You have to regularly update software and systems, install and update antivirus software regularly. Best practices for individual. Now here we have to understand that you have to protect the personal data. So for that, what we can do, you have to use strong passwords. Just now we saw how the passwords should be made. Then you have multi-factor authentication, which we have already seen. Then keep software and devices updated, backup data regularly. And the foremost most important is be cautious about phishing attempts. You know, phishing is tricking people to sharing sensitive information. Then use secure connection, HTTPS. This is very important for online banking or shopping. Here, encryption, authentication, and integrity are very important. So you have to look for HTTPS colon two front slashes and a padlock icon in the address bar next to the URL. Then you have to avoid public Wi-Fi for sensitive activities. So you have to use mobile data or personal hotspot to reduce the risk of data theft, malware, compromise security. Use a VPN, which is a virtual private network. This involves a security service that creates a secure encrypted connection over a public network like internet. It masks your IP address, hides your online activity from your internet service provider and others, and encrypts your data to protect your privacy and security. Best practices for organization. Here you have to implement robust security policies, which is considered as a living document. It is to be continuously updated as requirements of the technology and the employee changes. You have to conduct regular social audits, a transparent, accountable review process that assesses an organization's ethical and social impact in handling data and implementing security controls. It incorporates stakeholder feedback, focusing on issues like data privacy, user rights, transparency, and the community impact of the security practices. Provide employee training and awareness. Teach employees how to recognize and report suspicious activities like emails and links promptly. Emphasize secure remote work practices. Proper device handling using strong passwords, enabling multi factor authentication, keeping software updated. Incident response planning. Here, a structured strategy for managing cybersecurity incidents by outlining steps to detect, respond to, and recover from attacks. Purpose is to minimize damage, shorten recovery time, and reduce associated costs by preparing for incidents in advance. Best practices for kids. No one is completely safe on the internet, not even children. So, police and cyber experts stress upon using parental controls to limit access to certain content in apps. You have to include cybersecurity as a topic in the regular curriculum of the school camp. You have to protect the children from the predators. So you have to tell your children that they should never share personal information like full name, address, phone number online. Use strong passwords which are hard to guess, and don't share password with anybody else. Show kindness and respect on social media and online platforms. Only visit kid friendly websites and apps. Avoid websites with bad content. Tell a parent, teacher, or trusted adult if something they feel weird or scared about. Keep software up to date with latest security patches. Have fun online safely by prioritizing your safety and privacy. Use the so if you see kids have become very important part because of the gaming plus the education which became online during the pandemic. Then regulations governing cybersecurity. Here, Information Technology Act 2000 is the primary legislation governing cybersecurity in India, providing a framework for protecting sensitive information, critical infrastructure, and cybercrime. Listed are various sections along with the details giving about the penalties and the imprisonments that are to be faced by an individual if they tamper with these sections. So, Section 43 is dealing with penalties for unauthorized access, data theft, virus attacks, civil penalty on anyone up to rupees 1 crore, pay compensation damages to the persons affected. Section 65, computer source coding, tampering, imprisonment up to 3 years or fine up to rupees 2 lakhs or both. Section 66, computer related offences in case of dishonest or fraudulent intent, imprisonment up to 3 years and fine up to rupees 5 lakhs or both. Section 69, powers of interception, monitoring of digital communication. Government should allow for interception, monitoring of digital communication for reasons related to national security, public order, or other investigating offences. Protection of critical information infrastructure, imprisonment up to 10 years and a fine. Protection of personal data and privacy without the consent of the owner discloses information to another person. Imprisonment up to 2 years, fine up to rupees 1 lakh or both. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 focuses on protecting personal data, defining the rights of individuals, and establishing obligations for organization handling personal data. The National Cybersecurity Policy 2013 aims to create a secure cyber ecosystem, protect critical infrastructure, and establish a mechanism for coordinating cybersecurity efforts. The Reserve Bank of India's cybersecurity framework provides guidelines for banks and financial institutions to manage cybersecurity risk. The Securities Exchange Board of India outlines cybersecurity requirements for SEBI registered entities. The Indian SBDI Rules 2011 requires company handling sensitive personal data to implement reasonable security practices. Information Technology Guidelines for Intermediaries and Digital Media Ethics Code Rules 2021 mandates intermediaries to implement security practices and reports to Computer Emergency Response Team India. Information Technology Security Practices and Procedures for Protected System Rules 2018 requires organization with protected systems to implement specific security measures. The Telecommunication Telecom Cybersecurity Amendment Rules 2025 requires telecom service providers to implement robust cybersecurity measures. Conclusion: cybersecurity is a shared responsibility. Continuous learning and vigilance are the key. Invest in people, processes, and technology. If you have come across a cyber threat, you can report it at cybercrime.gov.in. You have to save the evidence for the same and submit it there. Also, you can scan devices, and factory reset is the last resort. In the festival lights, caution's glow can banish cyber shadows and ensure true celebrations. So, anybody having any queries, you can ask the same on the email ID provided in this presentation. And thank you very much for having a patient listening to all the discussion that I have made over here. I hope the same would be very useful to you all. Over to Stella.
Such a wonderful explain, ma'am, and also the topic which you we maintain. And thank you so much to giving your valuable time today. And also we will get to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.